10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Mike Darryl chase the night, Bruce and Booze give them a fright. Gary whispers fill the air as they hunt for shadows there. In their podcast off the cuff, haunted tales and spooky stuff. They dive down the rabbit hole, seeking out immortal souls. Off the cuff and on the trail, laughing through the creepy tales. Mike and Darryl break the dark, listening for the spectral power.
What's that game show called? Hollywood Squares. This would be Paranormal Squares.
We feel paranormal echoes real. With a laugh they brush it off. Ghost hunters they never scoff. Off the cuff and on the trail, laughing through the creepy tales.
That's almost creepy, man. You drive. They're great. They're great to watch, but they're terrible. Oh, I don't.
You know what the problem is? Your thumbs are too small.
What? Yeah.
With a laugh they brush it off. Ghost hunters they never scoff. Off the cuff and on the trail, laughing through the creepy tales. Mike and Darryl break the dark, listening for the spectral bark. Listening for the spectral bark.
Well, what happened there? That's not supposed to be on. Where'd it go? You guys can probably hear us. There we go.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'm only one-handed.
Yeah, he's only one-handed today. But you know, there's something
And you
really,
can do that.
there's something a little strange today, Mike.
That's abuse.
Wait a minute. Abuse. As you can see,
You're whacking or
folks,
something.
we are going to go back to comments. Love the intro song, blah, 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 blah. I don't think we can see actual comments up there, can we? But we're behind. We're way behind. We got ourselves on our own TV, so we're way behind.
We're like movie stars.
We're like movie stars. So, guys, welcome. And first of all, I guess we got a big thanks to Amy for creating that song. That's an awesome song, Amy.
Oh, Amy had a lot of fun making that. Like she was like, she's like, you have to hear this. I was laughing so hard. I mean, she made more than one song. We're not sharing the other songs that she shared, but that one was pretty epic. I'm like, okay, I got an idea. And we made that montage, and I think that works so good.
That does. It does. It works really well. It works really well. I really like that one. So as you can see, Mike's with me at my place tonight. So no split screen. And I'm afraid his thumbs up won't work this time around. See? We do try.
I need a sip of vodka.
A sip of vodka. There you go. Hey, it's not even on the rocks, man. This is straight. Guys, well, tonight, so first of all, we got to announce that we are moving off the cuff. And some people are going to go, oh, are we going to go, oh?
Oh.
But we are moving off the cuff to once a month, I'm afraid. Yes, I know you'll all miss us. But hell, we miss us.
Off the couch. Off the couch.
There you go. Off the couch paranormal. Oh my God. Anyway, guys, so
Make it truly Canadian, be off to Chesterfield.
Off to Chesterfield.
Do they still call it Chesterfield?
I have no idea.
Go to like Leon's, be like, I would like a Chesterfield. They're gonna be like,
Leon's.
Oh.
Leo. Oh, right, Leon's. We shouldn't make fun of that. We're gonna get in trouble for that one. Anyway, guys, we'll try to lean in and read the comments every once in a while because like way.
I got my glasses on. I can see it.
You can see it from there.
Oh yeah,
See it
on
with
my
my
couch.
glasses.
I'm happy you liked it as much as me.
I have to go. Oh yeah, now I see it.
Is anybody there?
So guys, tonight we were, me and Mike really tossed up what we were going to talk about. And really, it was his idea. I love watching this up there because we're so far behind on YouTube. It's hilarious. You'll see me pointing my hand up there pretty soon. See, see, there we go.
Oh look, I just crossed my fingers. Then I can uncross them. Then I can cross them. Then I can uncross them.
We are having fun watching.
I'm gonna watch myself do that. Watch this. This is very entertaining. So then off, and then on, and then off. And then off.
God, guys, I'll tell you.
I needed this laugh.
Talking about a different rabbit hole. Oh my lord! All right, guys. So we were having a discussion, and Mike, well, you came up with the idea, so you tell him.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's about I couldn't think of a better way to discuss personal experiences than being right in person. It just kind of made sense. So we're going to talk about personal experiences that we have encountered over our years of investigating. What was it? Would you like us to go away and leave you at it? No. It's more fun when you watch.
It's Kevin would say, "Come here, big boy."
How you doing?
That's right. Oh my lord.
So I just saw you hit me.
It's gonna be one of those nights. So anyway, you were saying, Mike.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about personal experiences.
We're having a personal experiences. Let me tell you.
I never knew we were so funny.
Apparently. Anyway, yeah, personal experiences and really how they affect what we do.
And ones that we've had that we can share. Anyways, I mean, because a lot of like what we do as investigators, our personal experiences, sometimes we give them to the client, but other times it's kind of just shared between our group, right? Where, if you get touched, you have to gauge if you want the client to know you were touched or where.
Wasn't going to go there, Mike.
But, that's just all part and parcel of what we do.
That is all part and parcel of what we do.
I got tears in my eyes.
Oh, Lord, what we have missed since being away.
Compose myself here.
And well, Mike is composing himself.
I get to watch myself do that. Oh, look at it. Oh, that's what I look like when I do that. Fantastic.
Oh God. So really how it does affect what we do and all things that connected with it. And it's really interesting because Mike looked into a bunch of stuff. But before we get into that and a little more about this whole thing, first of all, on behalf of MPIFX, we had some people step away a little while ago, and we want to invite them back, both Karen and Gord, to the team. Guys, welcome back. We missed you. It's going to be a great time having you back on board. All right.
Pretend it's fireworks.
That's right. There should be fireworks everywhere. It just doesn't work on the sign. Android sucks apparently for fireworks. So don't look at the TV, Mike. Don't look at the TV.
This is just too much.
Oh man. All right. So where are we here? Okay. So personal experiences. You came up with a list.
I did, and I actually didn't.
Okay, somebody came up with a list, and Mike's just using that.
Okay, so you know how Amy created the song? She actually created that song using artificial intelligence.
What?
I know.
I'm not really here.
I don't need it. I'm actually at my house.
That's right. We're AI.
We're just AI.
Right.
So I thought in the spirit, what? And we have a new investigator. Oh, yes, we do.
We do.
Yes, we do.
Thanks, guys. All right.
Okay. So yes, we'll get to the new investigator in a minute. But in the spirit of AI, I thought I would ask ChatGPT for 10 things. What was my word? 10 personal experiences a paranormal investigator could experience.
And probably most of them we have.
I think so. Like I was going through the list. I'm going, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to hit half of this list up, and then we will tell you who our new investigator is and see if she has any comments.
All right. So number one on this list.
Oh, anyway.
You do better than I do.
That's just. That's the first one, Mike.
Cold spots in warm areas, and it describes it as feeling sudden drops in temperature in an otherwise warm room, often thought to be a sign of a spirit or paranormal presence. Now,
Well, I'm glad that it's not warm spots in cold areas.
wow.
Sorry, Mike. I'm on a roll. But yeah, you are absolutely correct. Cold spots, either in warm areas or vice versa, really. Have you ever had any cold spots?
I have. One of the most intense paranormal experiences I ever had was we were doing a public investigation a long time ago, and it was at Camp Alex. And I was in a hallway with a group of people, middle of summer, and all of a sudden I was just like enveloped with this extreme cold, and we just happened to have a FLIR with us. So I said, point that FLIR at me right now. And sure enough, the person holding the FLIR was like, you could see the look on her face going, because there was like this blue aura completely around me. And then I was actually, my teeth are so cold, my teeth were shivering. No, my teeth weren't shivering. I was shivering. My teeth were chattering. And then, it lasted maybe 30 seconds, roughly. And I said, okay, that's it. You got to get away from me. I'm too cold. Pardon me. And next thing I know, like she goes, no, it's literally, I could see it disappearing around the corner. And I was fine the rest of the afternoon, well, evening, I should say, because it started in the afternoon, but it was really intense. It's I've never experienced anything quite like that since then.
And how did that, was that at the beginning of the investigation or at the end of the investigation?
I think it was more towards the end. It was probably one of our last sessions, because we started during the daylight. I remember it being dark where we were. So, yeah, it was towards the end.
And did it affect how the outcome came? Like how you proceeded after that?
I was a little more on edge. That's pretty intense. I'd never experienced anything like that to that point either, right? So, like, it was like, I was like, what the? I really wanted to wrap my head around, like, did that really just happen? And having the FLIR pointed at me to capture it, and I wish I had video of it.
We had the video
I wish I could share it, because really, it's really now just a personal experience. I have nothing to back it up, but I can't remember. Amy, I know you're watching. I'm pretty sure we got comments. Oh, we got some thespians, and we got Ken, and we got.
Sorry, guys, didn't mean to reach across the screen. Yeah, a bunch of them.
Hello, everybody that's joined us since we just started. You missed the beginning. You're gonna have to go back.
Oh,
14 minutes.
You'll have laughs and giggles with it.
I'm gonna be laughing on the drive home. Yeah, so it's all boiled down to being a personal experience now, because I don't have anything to back it up. But like I was just getting to, Amy, I believe, was there, and I think she remembers it pretty well too. So,
but then you also had two of probably your most profound experiences at Camp Alex. So
It's a pretty intense place sometimes,
it,
and not in a bad way. Anyone that's watching and knows about Camp Alex, it's all positive energy.
okay, I'll accept that. It turned out in a very positive aspect. Well,
I was not affected in any way.
no, and honestly, I think some of it was of our own doing. But you know, it can affect how an investigation flows and what happens with it. Now, I had a cold spot. Honestly, it was the very first investigation I ever did. It was actually at a place, and I can tell you, excuse me, it was actually at a place called the Blue Heron House, if I remember correctly. And I was sitting on the couch, and there was a gentleman looking at me with like one of those point laser dots pointed at the couch, right?
Right.
But I said I was getting a cold feeling. Now I was on a love seat, so it was only two sections. And literally I could reach across, and just like you're sitting there, I could do this all the way down to the ground as if somebody was following the shape of my body. It was a 15-degree C temperature drop, but you could just watch it going down, 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 down. And then it's kind of like, whoa, okay, you can go now.
Yeah.
And it started going back out.
Wow.
Now, did that change my attitude? Change my attitude about believing that something can be there? Yes.
Yeah.
Did it affect? I think it just made me more excited for the rest of the evening.
Yeah.
Because it was just, well, actually, it's happened later, but it did allow me to continue even on, because everything I was tired, fatigued, it's like gone instantly.
Yeah.
So yeah, cold spots, warm spots are another one too.
They are. I mean, if you're investigating and it's like super cold outside, like middle of November, December, January, and you get a warm spot, like no heat source,
There is that too.
Yeah.
Oh, or if you're in a very wicked place and you get scared, don't think the warm spot's always paranormal, okay? Just throwing it out there, guys.
I can honestly say I don't think I've experienced that.
I haven't had that warm spot yet.
I've been scared, but not that scared.
Yeah.
That's not a challenge to anybody on the team, by the way. I don't actually like to be scared. My daughter thinks it's hilarious to scare me,
Oh,
but I don't think it's that funny.
well, actually, I can tell you, there's another one that was now, guys. Nikki will kill me, but we were at a location. I actually can't tell you where at this point in time, but she was coming up out of almost what would be considered a crawl space area. And I didn't mean to. I was just standing there as quiet as a mouse, waiting for them to come up. And she got about halfway up, and she turned and took a look, and I was there, and the scream could be heard from here until anyway. Yeah. I didn't hear the end of that for a while. But yes. Okay, so what are we looking here? Hi, Kay. Hi, Amy. Sorry, missed you. Okay. All right. So what's the next one on the list?
Okay, so next one on the list we have is disembodied voices. Hearing whispers, laughter, faint conversations when no one else is present. He's making obscene gestures beside me, which could be picked up by EVP as well. But yeah, so disembodied voices.
And really, it's more AVP.
Yes, so
Audible.
yeah,
Audible
I was just
voice
going to say,
phenomena.
what does that mean?
Sorry, just took your thunder there. Audible voice phenomena is just it's actually stuff you actually hear at the time. I haven't had too many, although there has been times where I've heard a whisper in my ear. I wouldn't say it's given me pause for thought, but I wouldn't say it's outright startled me enough to change my approach, other than the fact that I just got whispered. I now know there's something in the room. Let's try to grab that.
Yeah.
That's what I've experienced.
Yeah. I actually experienced something on my second ever investigation. I can't say where it was.
Oh.
Not allowed. Sorry. The room that I was in, Polly was there. Yes, she was. I had to think about that. It's a long time ago. It was 2016. Come on now. That's like 8 years ago. And there was a
You're
disembodied.
actually 8 years older.
What? No. Ignore him. He's not actually here. Remember? It was a disembodied voice, and it was captured on our voice recorders, obviously. But it was a name that was said out loud, and we all heard it. I have the audio recording. I'm not going to share it with you, but it was like I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Now, if you did say what you actually heard, would that give it away?
I don't want to say what it was. I just it was a name. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a name because the question being asked over and over and over and over again was, "Tell me your name. Tell me your name." I don't think I heard you. Tell me your name. And then someone was like PO'd enough where they went and said it, and it was like, "Did you hear that? Yeah, we all heard that."
And did you get anything else after that?
Nope.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody just go, "This isn't what it is." You know?
Yeah.
And you're done, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we do have audible stuff. Now, audible stuff it could be a scream, it could be a shout, it could be a whisper, it could be just a bang, could be a thump, could be a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I mean, unless it's something that's really scary, I don't think I've ever run into anything like that.
No.
Then what does it do? It should drive any investigator to look harder, look farther, look more into it, right?
Yeah, if you hear a disembodied voice, I mean, for me, it's kind of like, okay, first of all, you kind of, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then it's like you like you said, your adrenaline takes over,
Yeah.
and you just start going even more into it. Like you almost forget everybody that's around you. You're just like so focused on what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's a good thing or it's a cool thing when it happens, but it can be a bad thing too because it takes your concentration away.
It does, and I guess it really does matter whether you're going to hear something or not. I guess it matters on whether you're sitting in a lit room or dark, right?
Yeah.
That could cause some issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings up another subject, so I'm just going to throw this in there at this point. Common sense, right? Dark room, get a little creeped out, don't run.
Well, no, because you could really hurt your kids.
More than your shin. I mean, you might fall down the stairs. You might run into me.
Yeah.
I might get hurt.
Shorter people, not mentioning Amy or Kay.
Oh, they're going to hit you for that one.
I know. I fully expect it.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, next. Unexplained shadows or figures.
Unexplained shadows and figures. Yes.
Seeing shadows, dark figures move quickly out of the corner of their eye, or even directly in front of them, sometimes known as shadow people. Have you ever seen any shadow people?
He knows I have. Yes, I got a personal experience, but this brings up a whole other subject. And people often ask us, can you be followed home? Okay. I'm 100% believer that yes, you can be followed home.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at your experience. I'm laughing at the comments.
Oh, what was the comment?
Kay says you is cruising for a bruising, and Amy says, Kay, we won't have to deal with this when we go back to the North Pole soon to help Santa.
All right. I got a couple elves investigating with me. Love it.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
Sorry. So the shadow person I saw was back in a different place I lived, not where I am now. I walked into my bedroom one night, and the wife was in bed, and I was just literally, I turned the corner and stopped because I looked right at my bedroom window, and there was it had to be a 6 to 7 foot tall, solid black mass, shaped like a person, just standing there. No eyes, no facial features, no nothing. Needless to say, I've seen shadow figures dart across room. Matter of fact, at our last investigation, and again, sorry guys, I can't say which most of you guys know anyway. But I saw it go right across the room, and so did somebody else later on. That's one thing because it's a really quick. It's a glimpse. It's up and it's gone.
Mhm.
What I saw, I stood there. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. Um, After what felt like a minute or more to me, and I know it probably wasn't even that long, I managed to glance to one side to see that the wife was in bed, and I looked back. Of course, it was gone.
Mm.
Now there's a part two to that, but I'm not going to get into that. But needless to say, the anxiety, and I will outright say the fear, apprehension, and the inability to move and do anything was, well, is that the right word? Palpable.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, and it just, if I were to, now this was at home. If I were to run into this at an investigation, I honestly can't tell you how I would proceed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it literally is or could be classified. I don't want to say the word terrifying because it's not to that level, but it is definitely up there on the level of saying this is really disturbing to see because you can't move. It's almost like you're fully awake, you're not tired, you're not asleep. It's not sleep paralysis, but it's the same concept.
Yeah.
Really weird. Did it stop me from wanting to investigate? No.
Yeah.
I'll go back and I'll do it again. At least next time I know if I run into something like that, hopefully I won't have the same effect.
Yeah.
Do I know where it came from? There's a theory that yes, I do know where it came from, or I suspect it from where it came from. At least that's what a medium told me, and she got rid of it. So yeah, it
Sat and cleaned it up. Like Ghostbusters. Put it into the trap. Put it in the wall. Light is green, the trap is clean.
somebody smacked this guy. But that's my experience. Do you have any experience, Mike?
Shadow people. I don't. It wasn't really a person. I saw a shadow that we couldn't explain. It was a residential case, so I can't say where it was or anything. But it was a shadow that kind of like quickly moved from one part of the room that we were investigating right across to the other part of the room. The blinds were shut. It was a dark room, but the shadow was darker than the darkness of the room, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So couldn't really grasp what I saw. And the fact that the other investigators did not see it as well, that were in the room with me, made it all the more frustrating because I know what I saw. And it wasn't out of the corner of my eye. It was like I literally saw it happen.
You really saw it, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I had one more experience with a shadow person. Now, this was from a distance, so it wasn't so much of a, oh Lord, weird, that kind of thing. It was like it was a WTF moment. It really was. And not only did I see it, but our other investigator, Big Mike, it's Little Mike, by the way.
So I've been labeled.
You've been out labeled Little Mike. Like Big John and Little John. We got Big Mike and Little Mike. But we were sitting, actually, I can even tell you, it was at the Port Moody train station. We were sitting in the car, and I happened to be the one looking out the window, and so was Mike the way he was sitting. And a shadow went about 8 feet across the parking lot, right to the side of one of our investigators' trucks, and disappeared. And both me and him looked at each other, and it was kind of like, again, it was like, WTF? Like what? Like literally.
How many times have you said that on investigation?
And oh yeah, and it was amazing to see. And for the life of me, you could never get it on camera because the glass wasn't a good glass, so you wouldn't get a good picture of it. The reflection because of the lights and stuff, cars outside, it just wouldn't have worked well. But kick myself for never putting on a trap cam on the train car, looking back at the parking lot. We did from that day forward, never got it.
Makes you
again.
wonder though, would the trap cam have necessarily captured it?
And that's one of my questions for you in the future as to when it comes to shadow people stuff, do trap cams capture it? Now, do trap cams even capture entities? Well, I've got a picture of one, which I should have put up here, but I didn't. And that was in a lady's house.
Yeah.
And there was
Shared it
something.
before.
So, and it was asked for too.
Mhm.
Nobody was upstairs. No cats, no dogs, no animals, nothing.
Yeah.
When I asked for this, and it happened within, what did we figure it out? It happened within about not even 30 seconds of me
Yeah,
asking
it was
for it.
pretty quick.
It was pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, we got onto another subject there. All right. So, shadow people, we're good on shadow people. Now, guys, before we move on, I would like to also welcome a lady by the name of Jenna.
Mhm.
She's our latest investigator. She is with, she's up in Kelowna with Kay. So, she is more part of Faculty X investigations up there.
Mhm.
Yeah, welcome aboard, Jenna. And hopefully, all this stuff that we're talking about, you'll get a chance to encounter. Maybe, if you really want to. I mean, you never know. It might happen, might not.
It sounds like she wants to.
Well, I think we'll keep the shadow people for a few years.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't want to scare her too much.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Okay. This one is, it's admittedly very rare. Objects moving on their own. Witnessing items like doors, books, or small objects move, fall, or shift without any logical explanation. I have one that's instantly coming to mind.
I have a few, but I don't believe them because I wasn't there, but I know the guy that was, but I won't get into that. Anyway,
Hell's Gate,
that's true, but I didn't see that.
the door. And you didn't get to experience that, no?
No, I can never get to experience
No.
that door.
I've experienced it. Amy's experienced it. Ken, you're watching, you've experienced it. That was pretty intense.
I've seen the video of it. I know at first I questioned it,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's one thing to see a door open. It's one thing to see a door open and then see the door closed. And no airflow.
And for it to be done when you ask it to be done.
Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah, I wasn't gonna go into that. Yeah.
That is almost like sealed the deal for me. It's like, it's one thing, like you said, it's one thing to see the door open, and then for it to close as well, which was already enough for me to be like, wow, that's really awesome. But the fact that it's like Amy going, okay, I see that you opened it. Can you open a little bit more? Okay, now can you close it? Close it a bit more, close it all the way. And it closed all the way. And I was like, oh my God.
I can't.
And I remember like the guy that works there because we went back a second time and we tried to dig it more into this. Like, why is this happening? So we actually went inside of the stock room where the door is.
Mm-hmm.
And I filmed from my side of the door. So the inside. The first time we went was the outside. I'd be like, okay, I want to see if this will happen from the inside. And true to form, I said, can you open the door? Can you now close it? Please, a little bit more. And it did. And then the guy that works there, he was standing to my right. And I remember him saying, that's the stuff of nightmares.
No friggin' doubt. No friggin' doubt.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
We have experienced that in our home several times. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. It's interesting, thespians.
What did Kay say about that?
Little car on camera at a hotel.
A little car? Did the little car move at a certain hotel?
Oh, Jesus. Yes, that's right. But we can't tell you which hotel. Not allowed to.
Well, we've done a few hotels, so.
Well, that's true, but this one we can't tell you.
Well, no, we can't.
I mean, don't you just hate that?
Just picture a hotel.
People are looking. Picture an old hotel.
Holiday Inn.
Holiday. It was no Holiday Inn, I can tell you that.
Best Western.
Didn't have a pool. Best
Well,
Western.
if the big puddle on the back could be a pool.
Yeah. They say we officially slept with some of the stars. But anyway, yeah, we actually had the trap cam set up on a table in one room.
Star, man.
And we the little toy car was just sitting in front of the trap cam. Trap cam went off, and in one picture you see the car sitting here, the next picture you see the car sitting here, and the next picture you see the car sitting there. And it didn't move much. It probably moved only a matter of an inch or two, but it moved enough to say, like, literally another, again, WTF moment, right? You're hoping to capture evidence like that, and it's very rare to get it. Although we did get something on a tripod in a certain area we can talk about.
Yes.
You. It just clicked in, didn't it?
The police museum.
That's right, the Vancouver Police Museum.
Yeah, no, it's really I love this because it's like at a trap cam set up in the overflow morgue. Yeah, Thespian is talking about you forgetting about the car. I had a trap cam set up in the overflow morgue, which everyone should be familiar with now. And in front of the trap cam was actually a tripod where the camera was. And we were outside in the adjacent room called the blood drying room. Christy, if you're watching, we got it right.
Oh, I was gonna get her visiting. Oh, the blood room.
The blood room.
We like it in the blood room.
But anyways, my trap cam actually captured 3 seconds, 4 seconds
3 or 4 seconds. Yeah.
of you could see the tripod where the camera was just ever so slightly moving, and then my trap camera malfunctioned, and that was it.
Yep.
And the batteries are still good. It's never done it since. No explanation for that.
No. And you actually see it moving.
Yeah.
You actually see the tripod moving.
Yeah.
Which was just bizarre.
Totally bizarre, because you could hear us off camera. You know that we're not in the room.
Really glad it didn't tip over, because they did have one of my cameras on it, and yeah, that would have been.
Well, I mean, it's a polite ghost. Although, I mean, the last time I was there was a little bit of not being so nice. Leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right. So now, what are we talking about now? What time is it anyway?
We're at 8:36 already.
Oh, wow, 8:36. How time flies.
I know. We don't have to finish the whole list, but
No, but we laughed like hell for the first 15.
I know.
That's
Laugh like hell for the last 14.
right. I go like,
More than
no, I'm not
14,
going to do that, because if I can do it off screen, no, I can't do it off screen because you won't see it. I won't do that.
A feeling of being watched.
Had that many times.
You feel like you're being watched.
Not while I'm at home, but I have had the feeling like I've been being watched in investigations. Now, I mean, honestly, everybody, you can sit there and say, yeah, I felt like I've been watched. There's different types. There's I get the feeling like I'm being watched. Then there's the type like, you know what? I've definitely got the feeling like something is like, and it sends a shiver up your spine, because it feels like it's not like it's over there. It's not like it's over there. It's like it's right here, and it's watching you.
Yeah, if you want to go by the definition, it's a strong sensation that someone is nearby or observing you.
Observing who?
A strong sensation that someone is nearby or observing them, even in an empty space, often leading to heightened senses and discomfort.
Now, let me ask you this. You get the feeling of being watched, and it heightens your senses.
Mhm.
It heightens everything. Could that actually be more detrimental to the investigation if you just keep proceeding on? And what I mean by that is, you now have your senses heightened because you get the feeling of being watched, but is it legit? Is it real? Or is it now going to cause you to possibly experience or see or think you experience something else that's really not there?
Yeah, I can understand that. It's an interesting, like, you almost have to like draw the line somewhere, right? Where if it gets to be too much of a problem, you're gonna have to be like, okay, we need to take a break.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it is legitimate, you want to keep going with that.
Yeah. True. That's true. So it's kind of like,
What do you do?
yeah, it's catch-22.
It is a
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, really.
'Cause you run the risk of like whatever you might have just been experiencing, gone.
True.
If you walk out of the room, come back 10 minutes later, totally different feeling, gone. The rest of
What's happening?
the rest of the night is you sitting there talking to thin air.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Snoring.
yeah, it's happened. Gord.
Oh, don't pick
Welcome
on
back, Gord.
Don't pick on Gord.
I love it.
Oh my lord.
It's true, Gord. I know you watching. I've heard you snore, dude.
But he didn't fall asleep on the autopsy day.
Well, did anybody fall asleep on the autopsy tape? I've never been on it,
Oh
so.
no, he was on it during an event.
Oh,
He had a sheet over himself, and so when they come into the room, he'd sit
nice.
up.
Nice.
Scared the hell out of people.
That-
I tell you, that was classic.
That would be classic.
It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we put him behind bars.
Well, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say nothing.
On to the next.
Next, physical touch. Yes. Definition, those that don't know. There's people out there that have never been touched.
Oh, I don't know, Mike. I think you've been touched very well.
Experiencing unexplained touches like feeling something brushed against their arm or shoulder, or a tug on clothing when no one is around. I'll leave it at shoulder.
Mike, have you ever had anything touch you?
Funny you should ask. I was at an investigation once, and something touched me on the back. I knew where you're going. I'm not going there. Just because there's a song about it doesn't mean I have to talk about it.
Oh Lord!
No, legitimately, I was touched on the back the first time I was ever touched, and I thought it might have been a mouse. I was sitting on the floor and took up my phone with the light on, going, looking everywhere, no mouse. It was pretty like one of those moments where you kind of like, holy bleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never forget it. Never ever forget it. The first time you ever touched by something that you do not see is memorable.
I can't say I was touched. I mean, I've been touched for years, but anyway, no. Just kidding. No, I wouldn't say I was touched so much as it was a very cold breath, which is, I guess, very close to that.
I've never experienced that.
And matter of fact, it's the same Blue Heron house upstairs. There was a guy in a rocker and a guy standing over to my left, and they're like, "I'm getting poked. I'm getting poked. I'm getting poked. I'm getting poked." And they kept, they were asking, and they kept saying they get poked. So I was standing right up against the wall, like my back was against the wall, my neck, are pretty damn close. I was only about like maybe that far, like my neck from the wall. There's no windows, no nothing. It's a solid wood wall. And I said, you know what? I said, this is really frustrating. I said, you're doing something to him. You're doing something to him. I said, will you please do something to me? And no sooner had I said that, right across the back of my neck, all I felt was with a cold breath right across the back of my neck. And I just went, that'll do.
Wow.
And that, again, that was really an awesome experience to feel something like that. Never had anything like that ever happen again, but that was really cool. So I guess I'd classify that in the touched kind of realm of things.
Yeah, I would have agree. I've never experienced that.
It's a little unsettling, but
I can
really
imagine.
cool.
I mean, cool. Being physically touched by something, shoulder, back, other parts, it could be intense, but actually like a breath where there's no explanation for that, that would be.
But then you get people that have been touched in other different ways, and it's not so polite. We've had people touched in areas you don't want to go there. And I mean, people actually outright, so like, there you go. You gotta watch that,
Yeah.
They
call it goose. Hong Kong.
I was gonna go there, Mike. But anyway, but honestly, guys, no, it does happen. There are some times that you can go into places, and for whatever reason, I guess if there's a person there that, or a spirit there that maybe passed on, and that's the way they were in life, is that the way they continue to be, or are they just trying to have fun?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But there is times. I mean, we've had Nikki Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I put all the investigators in the closet that night, but Nikki was the one who ended up getting slapped. And
Poor
her.
Nikki.
Yeah, I know, poor Nikki. And then she goes, oh, I got slapped. I said, you want to go back in? No, but you know,
do that to people.
I do.
Oh, you had that happen to you? No, I'm sorry to hear that. You should go back in.
If it happened once, maybe we can get it to happen twice on camera. Like, I mean, you gotta look for that, right? But that's what we do, right?
That is what we do. All right. That's like, they always say when you see someone running out from a house going, oh, I'm scared. It's when we run in.
Usually.
Well, usually.
I mean, if something's setting it, they're like, get out. I'm going to have to think about whether
I'm going to say nice costume, trick or treat.
what if they walk through? Never mind.
Maybe they have Reese peanut butter cups. Next
You
one.
can have them. I hate Reese's peanut butter.
Next. No. This one is relevant because it just happened 2 months ago?
It did.
Hearing footsteps.
Oh, yes.
Ken, back me up on this. Detecting the sound of footsteps often heard on a floor above or behind them, even when no one else is present, creating a sense of someone nearby. Yeah, it's that was probably, I've heard footsteps before, usually fainter than what I heard. The ones I heard 2 months ago, again, can't say where, but that was, I think at the time I was kind of like, I had like a shiver go down my back, like, holy bleep. In my head, I said, holy bleep.
Yeah.
I never said it out loud, but yeah, and the fact that, because it was myself, Ken, Kay, Holly, myself and Ken heard the footsteps. And Holly and Kay did not hear any footsteps. Yeah, exactly.
So that is true. And Mike, I can confirm that the footsteps were caught on video.
Which is awesome.
You can actually hear them.
Yeah.
But there is actually 2 sets.
Which is even more bizarre.
But 2 sets. Not the one when you were upstairs. 2 sets when you were downstairs.
And that is the second part of this, is because it was a 2-floor building, and we went upstairs after we heard the footsteps. Not immediately, but pretty soon after. And as we were upstairs, I again thought I heard footsteps downstairs.
Yep.
And again,
I don't know if I caught that one. That one was really quiet.
It was much quieter, and reason being, again, when you're below, on a floor below, you hear footsteps above. You're not going to hear footsteps like if right now we're in your building. We're not going to hear footsteps from someone downstairs.
No,
but you will upstairs.
That's right.
So yeah.
So it was unique. Now there is another place I've heard footsteps. Now we actually didn't hear them at the time. We caught them on EVP later. And that was a little theater in Queen's Park. Anybody that knows theaters and knows Queen's Park, they know which one it is. We heard boot steps, or what sounded like boot steps across the stage, which was really intense. And then we heard the footsteps going down the stairs to what they call the green room. And literally, if you count the steps and count the stairs,
They matched up.
That
would be cool.
And that was pretty damn cool. So to get it is really, really cool. Love footsteps.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
unexplainable.
Very cool. Next one is this one's a fun one, but battery drain.
Yes, and yes.
And not just physical battery drain, because we all feel that at the end of an investigation. But when you're using a device and the battery just goes dead or doesn't go dead, malfunctions. Like my trail cabinet we were just talking about earlier. Like we're in Sandon earlier this year, and that one's coming to mind where whatever was there really liked Kay for good reason.
Liked her?
Kay. It wanted to be one with Kay, I think. Sorry, Kay.
It was drawn to her.
So I turned the video camera towards Kay, and not even like a minute into focusing on her, the camera button basically had been pressed to stop recording. It like made the sound to stop recording. Everything was still going though.
And you can't, that camera just does, I own the cameras. The cameras do not work that way.
No.
You have to hit the button or close the door, bottom
Yeah.
line. And I did see the camera. Now that was that when we were in the lower level.
Yeah.
And literally I had a 5.5 hour battery on this, guys. And that battery was completely and utterly dead. Right. Yet the camera had not shut off. But the camera also didn't work.
No, you had to like
I had to
remove the battery.
physically close the door and remove the battery.
Yeah.
So that just, yeah, that blew me away. We've had power drains at other locations. We had people that go up into a location to come back and all of our equipment was dead. It's like, what the heck is going on? Battery drain is great. It's not scary. It's interesting. And it's like, as fast as you can get, you're getting more batteries in there and saying, hey, let's do it again.
That's not something that loses your focus on what's going on. It's kind of like, okay, cool.
Now, mind you guys, years ago, 5 cents a battery. Now, $1.50. You don't want them draining too often.
$1.50. Where do you get your batteries?
Okay, $2.25
Holy.
per battery. Come on now.
Yeah. You need to take out a second mortgage.
I think I got one in my drawer.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was not a word of a lie. I'm looking on Amazon to see if I can get a good bargain deal on a bulk set of batteries.
Okay, we got about 10 minutes left, guys.
Okay.
What do we got?
All right. I don't know if this is considered a personal experience, but unusual EMF. So
Excuse me.
to explain
Unusual
that,
EMF.
detecting spikes or fluctuations in EMF levels in areas without any clear source of EMF interference, which some people believe may be a signal of paranormal activity.
You know what? You can go on and on and on with explanations about EMF fields. Usually, when I would say a good 80%, 90% of the time, there's probably some way to explain it.
Usually.
Can EMF fields affect people? Some people it does, some people it doesn't. Is it an indication of a spirit or a ghost?
That's very debatable.
I don't know. I can't tell you one way or the other because, really I'm not there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those theories. I'll just go that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Just Kay had a fun night that night. Had a fun night in Sadman.
Yes, she did. Along with a story.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean EMF is like you said, it's such a debatable subject. Like, we do EMF sweeps, making sure there's no spikes.
Yeah.
We know that REM pods can be easily triggered by things.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to do your
due diligence.
Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of. If you're having interaction with a REM pod and it seems too good to be true, it could be.
Yeah.
Right? Like there could be wires under the floor wherever you placed it that you didn't know were there. Very good reason for having a tri-field meter, right? Checking it all out. Don't rely just on K2s. Because as fun as they are, and I do have, I have the world's second brightest now. Thanks, Ian. I'll change my battery and it'll be world's brightest again. I guarantee it.
There you go.
Yeah, so debatable. Last one on the list before we getting close to the end of the show. This has to go again with shadow people, but actually seeing a full-bodied apparition. You have, I have not. So I don't have one to share.
I do have one that I've actually seen, which I would consider to be full body. For anybody that knows it, and I think I've told the story before, but I'll tell it again. We were down doing an investigation into the old train station down in New Westminster. Now at the time it was the Keg restaurant. And we were sitting upstairs. It was late. Basically had the camera and it was like 2:00 and basically I was tired. So the camera actually I wasn't even paying attention. The camera had actually drooped down. So it was pointing down. My stupidity. And now you know why we use monopods. And earlier in the evening, I do believe it was Holly actually that described a little girl and how she was dressed. We also did an EVP session, and Ken asked how old, and he got the age 8. Well, this was about 2:30 in the morning, I guess. And basically, I thought I had heard something, and I just lifted my head up and I looked. And from here, for me, maybe, I don't know, 5 feet, 6 feet in front of me, max, there stood a little girl. She was dressed up in a skirt. Basically, my jaw, yeah, I'm like a cartoon character. My jaw hit the ground. She basically just looked at me. She turned, took 2 steps, and just faded out of existence. It is probably the most significant experience I've ever had in the paranormal field. And I would have to say, did it drive me to go on? Oh, hell yeah. So
Yeah, I know, like,
it was unique. And let me see, I think Holly just wrote, yeah, full body, yeah, solid appearing, not ethereal. Yes, exactly.
well, you and I were on the Mike Smith show, not this year, but last year, and he asked, like, what is like one thing you wish you would experience as a paranormal investigator? And I, at the time, it still holds true, is I want to see something like that. It's like there's always going to be a level of non-belief in me, despite everything that's happened, everything I've experienced, which is more than the fair share to convince 95% of the population to believe that the paranormal is 100% legitimate.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that I need is to see what you experienced, what you saw. That would put me over the edge. Right?
It is a once in a, I think
Yeah.
it's a once in a life. I've seen partials before, or what I think are partials, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not tired. I was tired, yes, but there was no way in hell I was asleep.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just, I can still see her. Like, I can still visually see her, right? I know what she was wearing. I know how tall she was. It was unique, but the way it just faded out of existence, it was just like bizarre.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, Ken, open-minded skeptic. I have to keep myself at that point. Like even seeing a full-bodied apparition, if it comes up and goes, I'm a ghost, I don't know how much more of a skeptic I could be at that point. Honestly.
Little ghostly hand. Like, hey, Mike, hey, look, we got to straighten this out here.
You've been asking for it. I'm right here. What's the deal, man? Like, I think at that point I couldn't be a skeptic anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, folks, guess what time it is?
8:57 according to your phone.
You weren't supposed to say it. Then guess.
Oh,
You could have said 8:52.
I could have, but I can see it right there.
According to the TV, we're only at 8:56. We're a minute. We're a minute.
I'm pointing at myself.
We're a minute behind. Go
I
ahead.
didn't like that. You pointed it up.
So, guys,
Cross yours.
but yeah, so and another thing I just want to point out to everybody that's watching, or everybody that's going to watch this, you probably noticed our websites have changed, and will change again. We've updated the little old one to a point. We'll be updating that more, and Amy's actually working on a new Wix site for us. It's going to be pretty cool, and the fact that you probably noticed a logo earlier that said MPIFX.
It did?
It did.
Oh.
And that one is, and I think I can put it up here if I really wanted to, but we're almost out of time. So, well, it's over like that. But we're actually combined. So FX still exists, MPI still exists, but as a website, a blog, an upcoming blog soon, revised new blog and whatnot, plus our Facebook and everything else is all combined. Yeah, so we're just one big happy family team, and there's going to be a lot going on, and we had a lot going on this year, a tremendous year for us.
Oh my God, it's been a year.
And this upcoming year, I hope it's just as exciting as what this year was, because it has been an absolute blast. And guys, look for us again. Now we are going to change. Michael changed the logo for Off the Cuff to read, every month. Watch for notifications. We'll get a notification out at least a week and a half to 2 weeks prior to the show, and let you guys know when it's coming up. Other than that, yeah, thanks for joining myself and Mike on Off the Cuff, because it's been an absolute pleasure for the last couple of years to do these shows. So
yeah,
stay tuned. There's lots of stuff to come.
Yeah. So we'll see you next when we see you next. Stay tuned.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody, and thanks for joining us.
Oh, I can't do my fireworks.
No, there's no fireworks. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.